Now, good morning and welcome to my new home on wheels, where I'm going to be spending the next 40 days driving up to the North Cape. It took me 2 years to build out the van and now finally we can hit the road. Joining me on the trip is my little reindeer friend, who we got to bring home to the Arctic. Today the plan is to drive through half of Germany. We've got 63,000 kilometers on the clock and we should end up with about 10,000 kilometers more. But for that we got to hit the road. So I made it out of the city and also just picked up one of those Switzerland stickers. And next up in 40 minutes is going to be crossing into Germany because we got to fill up the van, and also I need to pick up the filters because they didn't arrive in time. So later today we can get both of the air filters changed. But until there it's a beautiful drive through the countryside and we can already see Lake Constance in the fore. Alright, time to get some gas. Also here we're getting 100% biogas, so I do feel a bit less bad about driving 10,000 kilometers, but unfortunately up north we're not gonna get any CNG. Gotta make use of the cheap gas down here. Trip computer is reset, and without the roof box and any cargo we usually got around 320 kilometers and that dropped to 250, so let's hope we get to 300 again. So I made it onto the German Autobahn and I just plowed through about 150 kilometers, but there really wasn't anything to show you. So only 7 minutes left and then we get to our lunch spot. I think that's gonna be pretty cool. Also, I don't think we're gonna hit 300 kilometers again with one tank of gas. So yeah, overall I think I'm gonna spend about 2,000 bucks just for gas on this trip. Just picked up probably the biggest kebab I've ever had. Now there's a few hundred meters through the forest and then there should be some observation tower. Also, I'm not sure if it's just the screen on the camera, but the colors look super off. Like the sky is a completely teal color. We'll see tonight when I edit the video, because besides the last segment of the last build episode, I never used this new camera. So there still is some learning curve. 348 steps, so that's gonna be fun. Doesn't that look super cool? Not gonna record around the other people though. That's so embarrassing. There's like an entire class here. Don't mind the footage not being level. I can't get the gimbal to work. Now that certainly is a spectacular view. It's also insanely hot. From here you can spot this tower, which is where they test elevators. So let's see if we can find it. It's really small, but maybe with like, I don't know, 12 times zoom? I think it's right in the middle of the image now. Maybe you can see it. Made it back down again and it looks like there's a pretty cool bench down here. Well, never mind, there's people, so the rocket in. Some good stuff. I didn't have any breakfast, so that was much needed. Besides forgetting to bring my napkins, the lunch was fantastic. I'm back on the highway and now we gotta drive another 100 kilometers to Karlsruhe. And there my van needs an oil change. Found something called Ölwechselstation, which pretty much means oil change station. And I know that in the US there are quite a few of those, but there's not a single one in Switzerland and only a handful in Germany. It's only gonna cost about 80 bucks. And from there it's gonna be about 1.5 more hours before we reach the end of our road for today. I'm already getting kind of exhausted. I'm not used to driving this long. Also, I'm wondering what the sky is gonna bring because it looks super dark, but then again there's the sun peeking through. Well, I guess there we have the answer regarding the sky. now. Holy shit. That's like a huge hailstorm. I was scared that my windshield is gonna break. Now I hope my solar holds up. I just took cover under a tree. We'll see how this pans out. Almost got stuck, but got the van out. And I think we got lucky. Solar panels still produces some power, so I don't think that's broken. And the ceiling vents, yeah, they are good as well. Just look at the song that popped up, Breaking Out on the Interstate. That's so funny. I can't put it in here because of copyright, but yeah, that's gotta be the theme song of the day. Made it to the oil change place, but unfortunately there's a ton of cars and apparently I gotta wait for like an hour. So let's get those opened up real quick. Just as I wanted to tell you what I got called up and now I'm next in line. Instead of 1 hour, it's only gonna take like 25. I did, however, get the remaining distance wrong and it's still 2 hours. It's almost 4 p.m. I gotta go buy a coffee afterwards. It's starting to rain pretty heavily again. It's so exhausting, but thankfully not every day is going to be so busy. It's quite the start to this trip. Well, the goods have been secured, so let's get to Oppenheim now. Well, I sure hope the time-lapse worked out and the camera didn't just completely overexpose the sky, because there were some pretty impressive dark clouds. Now, I gotta say, also impressive is my fuel planning. We actually hit over 320 kilometers and we're completely in the CNG reserves. But lucky for me, I made it to probably the cheapest gas station in all of Europe, and it even says only pushing is cheaper, and the electromobility, I guess. Let's fill it up. Well, I didn't film it, but that just took 3 people to help me, and I had to help the guy before me. It's just a weird station here, but it's cheap as hell. It's about half the price of petrol. Now 45 minutes of driving left, and then from what I've seen, Oppenheim has a really nice small little town center, and we gotta drive through there, so looking forward to that. And then my plan is to actually camp next to an abandoned restaurant right near an ancient ruin. I want to go explore that while it's still bright out there. Yeah, back on the road. That definitely was quite a tricky drive. I don't think there's anyone here. Probably gonna get quite spooky at night. So there's my van, then there's another camper van, but it doesn't really look inhabited. And 1 car. And that's the abandoned restaurant. Check it out. Well, this plant is dead, but then this one still gets water, so I guess someone has to be here. Then there's a little vineyard. If there's gonna be any noise at night, I'm gonna be scared for my life, that's for sure. Check out the old playground. Doesn't even look too bad in the inside. Yeah, this is crazy. Now let's check out the entrance to the restaurant, or kind of the path up to it, because that looked super impressive. Well, never mind, it is pretty run down. Then here's the path to the ruin, I guess. And down here, there's an old watchtower. And that just looks like it's straight out of a fairy tale. So it's only a bit over 100 years old. That sure surprises me because it looks like it's from the medieval times. And then this building at the end of the road is also super cool. So I just crossed paths with a couple and I'm not sure if they are from the camper van. I'm not sure if I wish for someone else to stay at the parking lot or for me to be alone. Either way, it's gonna be spooky. But let's get dinner ready and then go to the ruin. Now I gotta admit, making dinner was a bit far-fetched. It's just some bread, cheese and grapes. I actually wanted to make burgers to celebrate hitting the road, but since it kept raining, I kind of canceled those plans. Let's find this ruin now. Do we just follow the path? It's like in the jungle here, and it's so humid. I don't hear any voices though. That was a thunder. That's not good. Well, that's the first wall. How sick is that? And check out the view. It's crazy. You can even see the Rhine from here. And this thing is just so cool. Now it's starting to rain though. I do not like that. And that's a big church. And wind farm over there. That's why it's so windy, I guess. Yeah, I think I better make it back to the van, which is a bummer. I gotta come back for my morning coffee here. This is unbelievable, honestly. Oh well. Not sure you hear that, but the rain is picking up like crazy, and well, now it's too late, I guess. Alright, so I found the widest part, and but I'm completely wet. Just look at the masses it's pouring down. Good grapes though, and I guess if a lightning strikes, I am kind of on the top of the hill. That's pretty bad, but it has to be better than running through the forest right now, right? At least there's no people here now. Sure is loud. Well, it's just the beginning, so it takes like half an hour. Well, I'm just gonna enjoy my dinner then here. I guess I'll see you back at the van, hopefully. So I think the rain has died down enough, and I'm gonna make my run for the van. But for tomorrow's morning coffee, I gotta check out this tower. Also, I still need to shower, and I'm really not feeling like doing that, because obviously I only have cold water. But once again, I don't have a choice. Made it back to the van, and I really do think now that the van in the back and the car over here, they're just, I don't know, residents who park their car here. So I'm gonna spend my night all alone. The first night in this van and the first night on this road trip all alone at an abandoned restaurant. It probably doesn't look like it, but I cleaned up the biggest parts of the mess, and now I gotta do some editing. Let me tell you, those are gonna be some 40 long days. So let's hope that this new camera shortens my editing time flow by like factor 10. Otherwise this won't be feasible at all. Oh well. Who would have thought? I'm just too tired. So yeah, I'm gonna take a shower and then make the bed. It's been almost an hour and no one else has shown up. Got my soap, water and the shower head. So I think I'm ready to get this over with. And also they just switched up the lights and I'm super happy about that. No, I take everything back I said about the shower. That was fantastic. Just saw the first mosquito getting into the van. So let's close it up and get our secret weapons out. By that I mean the mosquito deterrent, and I thought I'd only need it in Sweden. Don't want to let them win in Germany already. Guess you just put this in. Then we gotta turn on the inverter. Yes, now it's blinking. So the blinds are up and I'm ready to go to bed. I'm super tired. Now that was a really exciting first day. Lots has happened how I wished for it to happen, and some other things. Yeah. Didn't quite go to plan. Tomorrow's gonna be another long day because I gotta make it all the way up to the Netherlands. So I gotta catch some sleep and I'll see you tomorrow.